Hi everybody, this is Danny Morris, also known as Danielle Morris, and I wanted to go over my professional e-portfolio for you. So this is my official video tour of my portfolio. Just to preface, I'm really excited to be done. I think I've worked really hard in this program and just want to show you a little bit of what I've done in my portfolio, give you a little tour. So if you go ahead and click on my candidate info, it's going to give you a little bit information about myself. Just to kind of skim over it, I am a 26-year-old kindergarten teacher. I live in Overland Park and teach in the Blue Valley School District. I am single, living life on my own. At home, I love to design things on my computer. I love to watch movies. And I focused a lot on my master's degree. So I have many professional goals, many personal goals that you will see here. And then I have some kind of where I see myself in 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now. So I would love for you to go ahead and look over these. This is something that I took a lot of time to reflect on. When you go back up in the candidate info, I have my technology philosophy. Now, I am somebody who loves technology. I was someone who originally was a graphic design major in college before I decided to become a teacher. And I use technology all the time in my classroom, which is why I wanted to get this degree in instructional technology. You're going to read a lot about this in my technology philosophy, which was one of the first things I created in this practicum. So I go over a lot of things about my love for apps, websites, computers, and how I love to kind of mess around with it and see what I can do and how I can push myself in that. Next in my candidate info, if I go up to my resume is going to give you a little bit of background information. As I said, I'm only 26, so I've only been teaching for this is my third year now, but I do have prior experience as a student teacher, and I worked as a lead teacher in a summer camp and after school care program. So I do have that experience as well, and it shows you that I graduated from KU with my bachelor in elementary education, and I am really close to being done to get my master's degree, and I'm so proud of myself for getting that done. My next thing is my activity evidence. I've got lots of different resources and proof of research that you're going to see within this. This tab was probably the one that took me the longest because I had a lot of things that I wanted to do. The first thing was the professional development plan. Now, the professional development plan was tricky for me. My district and my school didn't really have one, so I had to look through outside sources. I met with my principal, I met with my gifted reading teacher, and I met with our gifted education teacher. So there was lots of different people that I met with to get my professional development plan done. And I wanted to make sure that a lot of it was based around technology, because my principal is on the board to actually move our school to a 1-to-1 ratio next year, which means each student in our elementary school would have iPads. So this is a lot of us transferring from Dell to iPads and getting any sort of educational experience that the teachers can get, which of course I've learned so much in this that I would definitely be able to help. Next, in my activity evidence section, we have professional training videos. Now, I was able to teach 3 different trainings through this program within the last few months, actually. I taught Google in the Classroom, that's this first presentation right here, to my teachers. We have been using a lot of Microsoft products, and since I took my Google in the Classroom class through MIT, I was able to find a lot of good information, which has switched me over to Google. So I presented this to my staff, and everybody was very, very thankful and grateful for this. And I've gotten a lot of questions since then, and I've actually already signed up to teach another professional development. The next one, I taught how my students can do Seesaw, which is something, I'm an ambassador for Seesaw. I love it so much. It's a way I can communicate with parents. My students can do activities and upload things, and I can just help them throughout the day. So this explains that to them. And finally, I did another one with my teachers, my peers, and I kind of compiled a presentation that gives all the different resources and all of the top technology advice that I would have that I learned in this program, and compiled it into one presentation. These were all a lot of fun to do. If I were to do it again, I think I would probably change the camera angle, but I think that I really enjoyed it, and I could see myself doing this in the future, teaching other teachers how to use technology, because I felt very comfortable and I loved having that knowledge to share. Next, you'll see the presentations, and these presentations are 3 that I actually used within them. The first one is, why should we use Google? If you go through it, it's going to give you lots of information on Google, why we should use it in our schools. It incorporates our ISTE standards, lots of different things. The next one, if you go ahead and click, it's going to take you to a Prezi presentation that I did, and this gives us top technology resources like I discussed in my previous program. So I talk about Google Drive, Symbaloo, Seesaw, and Powtoon and Biteable. If you click on each one, it's going to give you some information, and you can also click on the standard to get more information on the standard. I'm going to go ahead and click back out of that. Now, the last one is a Screencast-O-Matic, just like I'm doing now. I use Screencast-O-Matic a lot in my program, and this is just helping others get started with Seesaw. Next, I did my 3 article summaries. I have learned so much about writing papers in this program, about finding good resources, about using APA formatting, and I learned so much. So I talked about parent communication and technology. I talked about PBL in the classroom, in a primary classroom, and I talked about multimedia practices. And this kind of includes how we're going to use multimedia within the classroom. So all 3 of these I found really relevant to myself. I think that these were probably ones that I enjoyed just because I was able to find those sources, and I love to write. And so I think that being able to do these summaries and explaining myself through writing was something that I really enjoyed doing. So if I come up to the top again, I have extra resources, and I compiled several different resources. On the left side here, I have 3 different resources through YouTube videos. So these are some issues in technology right now. So MOOCs, which is Massive Open Online Courses, Personalized Learning, and professional development. And this professional development, I actually know the teacher in this, and I had no idea I knew her until after watching. And then on the right side, I have some awesome articles that are going to give you more information about some of those struggles and some of those issues that we have in technology right now. Down here, I have some online professional development plan examples. These are the ones I had to refer to. Like I mentioned before, I didn't have a whole lot of evidence, so there's those. And then I have some extra presentations that I included in here from my other classes, which I was really proud of and wanted to share. Finally, if you go up here to my reflection, I have my transference reflection. This is going to tell you all the different things that I felt throughout the program, and this video tour is what I'm going to upload that I'm doing now. My transference reflection basically discusses how, I really gained so much more knowledge than I was expecting in a variety of different ways. I had some prejudgments that I think were kind of canceled out, and I learned a little bit differently. Then if I go over to my evaluation, the faculty evaluation tool is not something that I'm using. This is something for the faculty, but I do have 2 peer reviews that I have now completed. Dawn Minkoff, what is the gifted education teacher at my school, Overland Trail Elementary, and so she wrote a lot of great things about my portfolio, which I was really excited about. And then finally, Leslie Nash is a peer in this course, and she as well looked over my portfolio, gave some great insight. Her and I worked very closely with each other in this project. So I'm so glad that you guys were in this program with me. I feel like I learned a lot about myself. I feel like I learned a lot about the teacher that I want to be, what I want to do in the future, working more with technology, incorporating that in my classroom, and hopefully one day being able to teach that to others. This professional portfolio, I believe, did a really good job of encompassing who I am and how I feel about the program and everything that I've learned. And I feel like I've come a very long way from the beginning. So to Dr. Jones, I want to say thank you so much for being my mentor this and my advisor throughout my last year and a half. And for everybody that I've met, great job to everybody. I've looked over things on Community, and I think we all did a great job. And congratulations to those of you who are done as well. I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks again. Bye.